Tom Hauser here with another midweek blessing. Hey, Michelle and I were on vacation in Florida last week, and shocking, in July in Florida it was hot and it was humid, and we spent the day at the beach and we had a great time. But by the end of the day we were tired and hot and exhausted, so we spent our evenings inside. We watched a couple of movies, and we also found a new show we like called Alone. The concept is pretty simple. They take 10 individuals and they drop them in the middle of nowhere, literally in the middle of nowhere, in the Arctic in this case, with nothing, no shelter, no food, no water, just 10 items they can bring with them. And one of their big obstacles, of course, is to find enough to eat in the Arctic in order to survive the longest. Whoever survives the longest gets a $500,000 prize. Some people are fishing, some people are trapping, using little snares to trap small animals. And then a few people brought bows and arrows so they could go hunting, whether they could try to shoot a moose, which one guy actually did, or whether it's a smaller animal like a wolverine, which was always a good idea. They were trying to hunt to get enough food to eat. Well, early on in the show, one of the first two episodes, a guy saw a squirrel up in a tree, and he got ready to notch an arrow to shoot the squirrel. And I leaned over to Michelle and I said, there's no way he's going to hit a squirrel with a bow and arrow. I've hunted, I've shot a bow and arrow. There's no way he's going to do this. Of course he did it. Not only did he do it, he hit the squirrel in the head. And 2 other people in this season so far have shot a squirrel with a bow and arrow. It's the most amazing thing I'd ever seen. Well, how could they do this? They could do this because they had spent literally hours and hours and days practicing shooting a bow and arrow, aiming at a target, making sure they were looking at the right place in the target, how to focus on the target. They were strong enough to pull back the bow, and they had done it hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. Well, then on vacation, I read this verse from Ephesians. Check this out. This is after Paul prayed just a beautiful prayer for the church at Ephesus. He says this: "Now all glory to God, who is able through his mighty power at work within us to accomplish infinitely more than we might ask or think." It reminded me that sometimes in life our aim is off. Sometimes in life our aim is something other than the glory of God. In fact, most of the time that's probably true. That most of our day, most of the little moments of our day are not aimed at the right thing. They're not aimed at God's glory. They're aimed at our good or our pleasure or our comfort or our success. And none of those things are bad things, but they're not the thing. So Paul talked about the ultimate aim, which is the glory of God. And then he talked about if you do that with God's power at work within you, you could do the equivalent of hitting a squirrel in a tree with a bow and arrow, something I thought was impossible. So my encouragement to you this week is to make sure your aim is true. Let's maybe make sure my aim is true. If what I'm about to do, or what I'm about to say, or where I'm about to go, what I'm about to eat or listen to or watch or engage in, am I doing this for the glory of God, or am I doing it for some other reason? Am I doing it so that he would be more famous, so that his name would be more famous, or so that my name would be more famous? Am I doing it because it would be fun, or am I doing it because it would be good for God and his kingdom and his people? And then to just practice, just like those guys that did this on Alone, practiced hour after hour. I want to encourage us this week to practice doing things for the glory of God with a very simple soul exercise, which is just this. As many times as you can throughout the day, as you get ready to go to lunch, as you get ready to go into a meeting, as you get ready to choose something to watch on TV or music to listen to, or what to read or where to go or what to do, just stop for just a second and do a little breath prayer, which is just as simple as, God, show me what I can do here for your glory. Show me what I can do right here, right now, for your glory. And God, give me the strength to do it. Give me eyes to see it, to aim clearly at it, and then give me the strength to do it. If we did this many times a day, so much of our days would be so much different than they are already. Whether we're at home or at school or at work or at Kroger or driving around, if everything we did, more and more and more of what we did were for God's glory and had little to do with us, but much to do with him, so much would be different in this world today. So that's my encouragement to you. Take good aim at God's glory, practice a lot with simple prayers throughout your day, and see what might happen as we do all things for the glory of God. Until next week, peace, friends.